Hi. So I have had a lot of requests about this here. It hangs on the wall, very pretty. And I had a lot of requests to make this, and so I thought I would make a video to show you guys how I made it. So what you'll need is you will need to cut out cardboard piece. I just a round circle cardboard. I bought a music book just at the Goodwill, $1.99. And I like the older pages, not so white, maybe just a little bit of yellowness to them. Make it look a little more antique. And I cut the pages out, tear them out. And then this one has the spiral. Obviously you don't want the spiral on that. So another Goodwill find is here. Found it at Goodwill, 99 cents. Not hard. And I just cut off the edge of it so it's perfect. And then I take that, and this one here that I made last fall took about 50, give or take 50 pages. I take them, I just roll them up, something similar to this. But I take it and I just hot glue. Hot glue is the best for everything, I think, because it makes it so much easier and it stays. And I start in the center for this because there's, as you can see, there's a few different layers to it. There's the outer edge, one more layer that I just bring the second layer in a little further on the circle, and then the third layer I actually cut in half to bring that layer down in a little more. And then I think this takes about 2 pages. I'll show you how to make that. So I will rearrange the camera, rearrange everything to show you guys how I put it on the circle. Okay, so what I have here is I have my cardboard circle. Sorry about the lighting. I don't have very good lighting in here. And then you're going to just start with your hot glue gun and you taking your little tubes that you made and gluing them down. I try to get the end of the tube, the corner, right in the center. And you're just going to glue them down, and you want to make sure this part looks good because this part's not going to be seen anyways. So you want to make sure this part is what you like. So I personally like this side, so I'm going to start with that side. So you just want to make sure to center it the way you like it, as so. And then I like this side, so I'm going to do that side. And some of them are harder to, some I put on the paper, just all depending how I'm going to want it to stick onto the cardboard piece. So I'm not going to probably do this whole thing on camera. I'll probably sign off and finish the first layer and then continue with the second layer so you guys can see how I do the second layer. So here's what it looks like. I just hot glued and I just continue all the way around in a circle, and you want to make sure it's somewhat even around the whole first layer, and then I'll come back on when I start the second layer to show you how I do the second layer and so on. Okay, sorry if the lighting changed. I had to change it a little bit. So now we're going to start on our second layer. This is what it looks like on the first. I'll go in a little closer so you can see. So when I put the second layer on, I like to stagger them so it just makes a more full effect. But you bring it down for the second a little bit below the first. Okay? Okay, now that my hot glue gun is warm enough, we are going to start doing the second row. This is my first video, so I don't have all the lighting equipment and the camera equipment and all of that. So I'm doing the best I can with what I got. So here is, I don't know if you can see, but the second row. See how I brought it down a little further than the top row? I just brought it down in more. And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to go around in the circle. You guys don't know how many compliments I get. I have this, the other one that I showed you, hanging in my family room. And my family room walls are a dark gray. And I get so many compliments on this piece, asking where I got it, how much was it, where I bought it. And I was like, well, it cost me a total of 99 cents to make because that's how much I spent on the music book I bought for that one. And they're like, what? So it's very gorgeous up, very easy to make, very cheap, and it's honestly, I feel like it's a piece of art. So the second layer is done, and I've started on the third layer. So here is the first layer, second layer, and third layer. And as you can see, the very third layer, I cut them in half because it gets just too much paper down there that it wouldn't work. So I cut the little tubes in half, and then I just do the same thing. I bring it down just a little bit further than the second layer, and I hot glue them, and I go around and I try to stagger them between so it gives it a fuller effect. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I just kind of squeeze it together because they are a little thicker. I put a little line of hot glue on the bottom, and I just make sure they're even as well. And I do the third layer. And I think that anybody can do the same thing because honestly, as of the last couple years, have been doing a lot of DIYs and crafts, but I have never been a very artsy person. And so I was very surprised when I started doing DIYs and crafts that everything was turning out really nice. And I think my family was surprised as well, sadly. I did the third layer. So the third layer is all done. And now I am going to make this accordion, the accordion centerpiece that this gets hot glued onto. So I already started making one because I needed to figure it out on my own because I actually forgot how I did it. That's what it looks like. And what I did was I took, it took 4 of the music pages, and I took the music pages, and all I did was fold it back and forth like accordion style. And I did this with, it took me 4 pages. Like so. So it's just, this is why it took 4 pages, because it only is that size. then after I did the 4 pages, I then had to, because if I used the full length paper, it would be an extremely large, big circle, and it would end up just covering my 3rd layer. So what I did was, after I did this to 4 pages, I then cut it about halfway, and then I take the 3 pages and I just glued each one. I don't know if you can see that. I'm sorry if it's hard to see. You just glue each one together like so, and then you in a big circle like that. That way, when it goes flat, it looks like that. And I'm just going to put a ton of hot glue in the center of my piece, and I love this side the best, and I'm going to just set it in there. I feel every time you make something, even if it's the same thing, it's going to always turn out a little bit different than the one before. And you want to make sure it's glued in all sides, adding just little dabs of hot glue here and there to that 3rd layer to hold it down, because once you put some sort of ornament in the center, typically it's going to be a little bit heavier, and you don't want it to just tear off this accordion piece. So now that this is dry, I think it turned out pretty good. I am going to put my metal piece in the center, and I'm going to look at it and see, as if it was on the wall, how I want it to go, because my word obviously needs to be up and down. After this goes on, we then add ribbon. I did ribbon to hang it just because I thought it was a lot more pretty. Sorry. I did ribbon with a big bow at the top. The bow fell out, but it had a big dangly bow. So I went and I grabbed just some ribbon, silvery ribbon. And what you're going to do is you're just going to take ribbon, however you end up choosing to want. So what I did on the back for the ribbon was I just hot glued it, and voila. It will be a very pretty piece to hang on somebody's wall. Very easy. It probably took me a total of an hour altogether to make it. So thank you for watching, and I hope to make some more. This one's my first YouTube video, but I hope to make some more, whether it be hauls, thrift hauls, shopping hauls, makeup hauls, DIY crafts, all that fun stuff. So please subscribe and let me know if you have something in particular that you'd like to see. Okay, bye.